Chazak Baruch, good morning, Botai. A halacha that's especially prevalent in yeshivot, Bate Midrash, Bate Knesset, is using Sifrei for personal use, which means sometimes in the course of learning, you want to use other Sifrei on the table that you're not necessarily learning from, but to prop up other Sifrei against to make it easier to learn from. Is that mutar or asur? So the Taz, Rav Turei Zahav, in Yured Asiman Resh Pebet, discusses this. And he says, only if the Sifrei are already there when you sit down and you want to prop up the Sifrei that you're learning from against them, is it mutar? However, if they weren't there and you want to take Sifrei from elsewhere to bring them to prop up the Sifrei that you're learning from against, that's considered a bizayon Sifrei, that's considered disrespectful, and you're not allowed to do that. The Magen Avraham disagrees. Magen Avraham in Orach Chaim Siman Kuf Nun Dalet, he says that's not the case. He writes Meforash that since this is being done derech limud, it doesn't matter if it was there or not. The halacha is that you are allowed to prop up your Sifrei against others to make it easier to learn. He brings it ayah from the Sifrei Hasidim, who writes that if a person, let's say, is learning and the sun is shining on the Sifrei and he can't really see, it's too bright, you're allowed to take another Sifrei and hold it up against the sun to block the sun so that it's easier for you to learn. Again, not for your own personal benefit or enjoyment, but in order to make it easier to learn. It doesn't matter if the Sifrei was there or not. Maran Zechron V'Racha in Chazon Ovadia Shabbat Chelekei concurs like the Magen Avraham that it is mutar. Maran Zechron V'Racha himself, when he needed to prop up a Sifrei to see it better, or when he was writing, he would take Sifrei and help it to use it to prop it up, and he would do that himself. Now, another thing that's equally as prevalent is how you stack up Sifrei in a Beit Midrash. Sometimes people are very, very makpid to make sure that a Chumash or a Tanakh goes on top of Gemara and a Tehillim goes on top, all sorts of different things to make sure that everything is stacked up the way it should be. However, the Minhag HaOlam is Kedat Aruch HaShulchan. If you look in the Aruch HaShulchan, Yured De'ah Siman Resh Pebet, he also says that this halacha applies that you shouldn't put a Talmud on top of Torah Shebichtav. That's only when it's handwritten. When it's handwritten and has a higher level of Kedusha, that's when we're makpid. However, nowadays when all of our Sifrei are printed and they are of lower level Kedusha, it really doesn't matter. It's nice to be makpid, but it's definitely not a chiyuv. Sometimes I see people, they get all nervous about it. They walk around the entire Beit HaMidrash, rearranging stacks of Sifrei to make, making sure Chumashim, and that's nice, but I tell them it's bitul Torah. Tismoch ala Aruch HaShulchan, rely on the Aruch HaShulchan, take it easy, because that's the Minhag HaOlam. Have a wonderful day.